ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to another episode of Steel City Renegades. This is week number 16 upon us, or 15 upon us. We are coming off a Pittsburgh Steelers win, 27-22. That puts the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7-6, the top of the AFC North. We beat a Baltimore, who falls to 6-7. Very controversial call with the Isaiah Likely touchdown. I want to welcome in my co-host all the way from Chicago, Mr. Deej. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for him. Deej, how you doing today?
Cold. Really fucking cold.
It is cold. It is cold. So real quick, let's touch on these stats right here for the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers, 23 of 34, 280 yards, one passing touchdown, one rushing touchdown. He was sacked 0 times. The Steelers had a total of 17 carries for 34 yards and 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers had 1. Kenneth Gainwell had 1. DK Metcalf had a big game, 7 catches, 148 yards, no TDs. Jaylen Warren had 3 catches, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. Calvin Austin had 1 catch. Adam Thielen had 1 catch. The newest Steeler, Darnell Washington, Ben Skoranek, Kenneth Gainwell, who continues to be the offensive MVP so far this year for the Steelers, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He played a bunch, got no catches, couple targets. Johnny Smith had 0 catches. Our tight ends had altogether 2 catches. No, 1 catch. And that was a Darnell Washington, or 3 catches. Pat Freiermuth had 2 catches for 9 yards. Darnell Washington, 1 catch, 12 yards. What's going on with this offense, Dees?
I'm not going to bitch a whole lot when we put 27 on the board and Aaron's throwing for 280. I mean, yeah, you'd like to see that used more, but you know what I want to see used more? Our $150 wide receiver, or $150 million wide receiver, which we did. I don't know what the changes might have been made with the additions of MVS and Adam Thielen. But yeah, I'd like to see the tight ends, especially Freiermuth, used more, but I can't sit here and bitch when we put up 27 points. Like, if we had a half-ass competent defense and could score 27 a game, we'd be undefeated.
Well, let me ask you this question. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different people touch the football, running the football, and you had 17 carries for 34 yards. That's a problem. That's a problem.
It is. It definitely is. But you got to remember, even though he's taken a lot of heat for his pass protection, Broderick Jones is a really good run blocker. We lost Darnell Washington early in that game. We also didn't have Calvin Anderson in that game. So I think going into it with the loss of Calvin Anderson and Broderick not being there, they kind of had the feeling that, okay, the run game is probably not going to be as effective as it has been, because if you recall, the run game really hadn't been all that effective until they started going to the big set. And that's not really an option right now because of injuries and whatnot. And the pass game was working, so they had to switch gears. I mean, yeah, I'd love to run the ball 150 yards a game every week. That ain't who this team is right now. It just isn't. They're not trying to be, clearly, because the attempts aren't there. It's more of a get those guys the ball, out in space a little bit and let them make plays. It's been that way all year. Like, we can sit here and beat our heads against the wall and piss and moan about it, but it's not going to happen. Like, this is who we are. All the more reason we need a change.
I mean, we keep saying we need a change, and it starts at the top with Mike Tomlin and works its way down, but and I know, Deez, that there's not going to be a change because they are so very comfortable, and the standard is set with Mike Tomlin, with the Steelers organization, that all they want to do is win football games, not win playoff games, because winning a football game and a playoff game is 2 totally different aspects of the season. You got to get past the first round. I don't think this team can get there to the playoffs, and if they do, they'll probably get humiliated because you never know what Steelers team you're going to get. It's very inconsistent. One week we talk about them possibly turning the page to be a Super Bowl contender or a playoff contender or get yourself a win. Then other weeks we're like, why? Like, what's going on with this team? I mean, it's frustrating as a Steelers fan to sit back and watch what's going on with this team and this organization, and they just allow it to happen. I don't understand that.
Call art. I mean, that's where it starts. People think right now, like, yeah, it's not going to change. It's not going to change. But what do you think's going to happen next season in our home opener and we start shit in the bed?
They're gonna boo.
Yeah, it's not going to be a couple times in the fourth quarter of week 12 or 13, whatever the hell game that was when it happened the first time. It's going to start at the very beginning. I think unless we come out super flat Monday night, I don't necessarily know that it's going to happen much for the simple fact of what tomorrow night represents as far as the Hall of Honor and a few of the greats in the house. But it could happen if we have a really poor performance. We could see the same thing tomorrow.
I mean,
but like next year, like somebody has to let Rooney know, like, hey, what's going to happen next year on week 1 and week 2, whenever our home opener is, and we have 2 or 3 and outs in a row, or the defense gets stomped on. It's going to happen all year long until there's a change.
You don't think that the Steelers organization or Rooney himself sees what's going on and hears what's going on? I mean, man, they chanted "Fire Tomlin" inside Acrisure Stadium. You don't think?
Yeah, he sees it. He don't give a shit. You know why? Because the same amount of money rolls in every week.
I mean, Michigan just their head coaching job just came available. Why are if I'm Tomlin, that'll be, or if I'm Michigan, I'm throwing a boatload of money at Mike Tomlin.
Well, come on. Tomlin has already made it clear he is never going to coach college.
I mean, don't never say never. He may say that, but somebody throws $10 million a year at you. Michigan's got the money. He'll do it.
Bro, he makes $16 million a year in the NFL.
That's what his contract is? I thought it was $6 million.
16.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and when the rumor about USC a couple years ago, I mean, he literally stood up there. He goes, they say never say never. Well, I'm saying never. I don't think there's enough money in the world to make Tomlin go college.
No.
Knowing full, I mean, look, let's just live in fantasy land and say that he leaves this year. How in whatever scenario, I don't think he's going to get fired. It's going to be a mutual parting or something like that. He could have a job within 5 minutes. There are teams out there that will fire their coach if they could get Mike Tomlin, and take him. That's fine. I'm good with that. And he knows that as well. So if he leaves the Steelers, Mike Tomlin's not going to be hurting for work if he, chooses to coach next year. But I personally feel if he leaves and he's not traded, that he'll probably take a year off unless he's already got his eye on an opening somewhere.
So if you were the Steelers organization, would you look to trade him to the Giants where you can get that first round pick?
Absolutely. You'd be a fucking retard not to, especially the Giants, because as it sits right now, the Giants have the number 1 pick. But I don't think they're going to give that up for anything.
Yeah.
If anything, I could see the Giants. But there's too many moving parts there. I can see the Giants trading back a little bit if somebody wanted to jump up there, like 5, 6, 7 slot, and then use that pick to grab Tomlin. But again, that's too much to do in too little time.
So let's get back to this Baltimore Ravens game. Pittsburgh wins the game 27-22 on a controversial call. Isaiah Likely touchdown in the end zone. We all know that was a touchdown. Even Big Ben said it was a touchdown.
It's a controversial call if you can't fucking read, because it clearly states in the rules that you have to complete the football move. Before the third foot goes down, the ball's out. Simple. Everybody wants to compare it to the Roman Wilson touchdown from a few weeks ago. Watch that replay again. Roman Wilson has the third foot down, still holding the ball, And then as the fourth foot's getting down is when he lost it. Yes, it was close, but letter of the law, in other words, word for rule, as Gene Steratore clearly explained, wasn't a touchdown.
I mean,
as somebody who wanted Baltimore to win, I wish it would have been, but it wasn't a touchdown. If you don't like it, change the fucking rules.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So, what is a touchdown now? Because people are asking, like, was the Jesse James touchdown against the Patriots, was that a touchdown for the Steelers back when that happened in the playoffs?
Yeah, and again, people keep confusing shit, and they need to pay attention. Jesse James did not catch that ball in the end zone. He caught it, turned, and crossed the plane, and then when he hit the ground, the ball came up. That changed the rule to if it's a catch, the instant the ball touches the plane, it's a dead ball touchdown. Okay, that accomplished that rule. Has absolutely nothing to do with the rule that we have now, which is more of the I don't know if it would be Des Bryant or Calvin Johnson or whatever, but the football move equivalent. Because then the other side, we have the Baltimore crybabies talking and trying to say that God damn it.
Isaiah Likely?
No. Santonio Holmes. The Santonio Holmes catch wasn't a catch because he only had 2 feet down. But he also held onto the fucking ball through the whole thing. Like that's the main thing. If you catch the ball 2 feet down and hit the ground, as long as you have the ball, that's a football move. That is securing the ball. So, like, again, as long you just have to have an IQ above 60 to understand that he didn't fucking complete the third act.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there with you, D's. I didn't get to watch the game, unfortunately. I got to get NFL Sunday ticket. I got to get it for the rest of the year so I can watch these Steelers games. I know that the Steelers are on Monday Night Football tonight. Big main event or big primetime game for them. They're wearing their color rush jerseys. They are 9-3 when they wear them jerseys. They play against the Miami Dolphins. Miami coming into Pittsburgh. They're on a hot streak. Mike McDaniel's got them playing really well. They're in Miami. Pittsburgh's this got to be a must win for the Steelers. I got us winning this game against the Dolphins. So hopefully we can get this win. You don't want us to win. You want us to lose. A part of me wants us to lose too so we can get a new coach, but not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Again, I would rather not go to the playoffs than experience what we're going to experience when we go to the playoffs. So, yeah, I want pain and misery. I want, like I literally sat and watched that game last week emotionless. Like not once did I get excited. If anything, I mean, I can even show you my group chat with my brother and cousins. Like it was just, I was kind of excited when we were getting ready to have our fourth quarter collapse.
It's sad to get excited like that too. It is.
It is, dude. I mean, there aren't too many people outside of that area that, I would consider bigger fans and more knowledgeable about this team than me. And yeah, like I've been broken this year. Like it's been a long time coming, but I just don't see any way that we're going to get anywhere that we want to go in its current state. And it's depressing.
So
Miami, by the way, Miami's coming in here hot. However, so far in his career, Tua is not a very good cold weather performer. And I believe, pull this up here, it's not going to be pleasant in Pittsburgh tomorrow. Tomorrow night, it's going to be about probably 15 degrees come kickoff with who knows what kind of wind chills. It's not going to be fun. Devin A-Chain coming in, basically the MVP of their offense. But he's going to have some sore ribs. And when it's that cold, man, you take a couple hard shots to that rib cage, that might slow him down a little bit. I believe I saw Mike Tomlin is 21-0 on Monday night.
Yippee.
or maybe it was Monday night home games. I don't know. I
Yep.
can't imagine. Has he had 21 home games on Monday night?
I don't know. Let me check. Go ahead and elaborate on that a little more.
Either way, I know his record on Monday nights is extremely good, especially at home. Maybe it's not 21, but uh, however, on the flip side of that, we now know TJ Watt is out with the punctured and partially collapsed lung. So thank you to our expert training staff for doing that. And with him being out, the record with TJ Watt not playing both regular season and playoffs is 1-11. So something's got to give there. We're going to see a lot of Nick Herbig and a lot of Jack Sawyer.
So Mike Tomlin's record on Monday Night Football is 20-3, and he's won perfect
home record.
He's perfect at home.
Okay, there you go.
So 3 losses on away. So hopefully he can go 21-0 at home. That was actually one of the first Monday Night Football games I went to a couple years back when it was Pittsburgh and Miami. That's like right when we got Minka. Like right after that, we got Minka Fitzpatrick. So I mean, I would like to go. I would still like to go to a game this year. I don't think it's possible though. Season's winding down. Maybe against the Ravens or against the Browns. I don't know yet. But hopefully, I get to go see the Steelers play. I know one thing: I'm not going to go sit out in this cold. I'm not doing that no more.
I'm not going to spend a dime on this team in its current state. Like that's why I didn't go to the Chicago game. Not only that, but the tickets were super expensive. But I just knew that it was going to be disappointment anyway. But
speaking of Chicago, my nephew's actually down there for the Browns Bears game. Hopefully, he had a good time down there. He got down there Friday or early Saturday morning. Hopefully, he had a good time. I haven't texted him yet to see how things went, but hopefully, he has a good time down there. Even if the Browns lose, still have a.
Well, we basically had a blizzard run across the state this weekend, so I can't imagine he's having too good of a fucking time.
Well, I'll message him.
Although I'm not sure up there, because as I've said countless times on this fucking show, I'm 2 hours away from Chicago. But I know like down here in the middle of the state, far, far away from Chicago, we had 8 to 10 inches of snow across the middle.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can take any more winters, man. Like when I was a kid, I used to love them. Now I absolutely hate them, especially when people don't know how to drive, man. I don't like winters. I think eventually I'm going to move to the West Coast or move somewhere where it's warmer.
Yeah. Speaking of people don't know how to drive, yesterday, so Interstate 55, which is one of the big ones that runs like all the way through the fucking country. It runs down where I live here in Bloomington, down to the state capital of Springfield, which is about an hour south of me. And there was a massive, massive pile up in Springfield. I mean, they literally closed the interstate. Like it was impassable because there were so many cars that it looked like a fucking Armageddon like car lot. And yeah, it was bad. I haven't left my house since I got home from no, I guess I did run a couple errands Friday, but I haven't left the house since then. I don't even know if I can get out of the house right now, to be honest with you.
You said that TJ Watt's not playing. We also found out that James Pierre's not playing. Also, who else did I say wasn't playing? I forgot who else I said.
We know
TJ's not playing.
Oh, Andrews Pete. So we're still stuck with Dylan Cook as our starting tackle.
Asante Samuel Jr. will get his first start as a Pittsburgh Steeler. A lot of praise coming from him. They said that he's at midseason form. What is this, his 3rd game back officially? I know he only had 1 snap last week, but he played a bunch a couple weeks ago. So it's his 3rd game of the season for him. Kudos to him for coming back and working his way back from injury. And kudos to the DK Metcalf for having a big game. We just need to get him a touchdown, man. I don't know what's going on there with that, but I like the camaraderie between Aaron Rodgers and Mason Rudolph last week. Have you guys seen that at the end of the game when Mason punches him playing around and Aaron turns around like, oh, funny, and gives him a hug. So for all you people, and I know me and Dee's talk about this, for all you people to say that Aaron Rodgers is a bad teammate, that tells you that he's not a bad teammate.
He's absolutely loved in that locker room.
He just does not like the media. He does not like the media.
Yeah. Again, like I said this when we first signed him. If you find me one fucking clip in his entire career of a guy that has come out and said, oh, he's a bad teammate, he's an asshole, blah, blah, blah. But you can't, because it's never happened. The media portrays him as this diva asshole because he doesn't like the media, and he makes that well known. So anytime that they can smear him, they do, much like the thing that Ryan talked about with the ESPN article where he threw his receivers under the bus. And in that article, he also directly quoted himself as having a shitty game as well. Like, so they take, it's all out of context bullshit.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny when the media comes out and says that he's a bad teammate and other people try to misconstrue his words on what he says because, again, these, like when me and you talked about off air when we first got him, I really think more and more, and I even put the cherry on top after Phillip Rivers coming back at 44. I think Rodgers might come back for next year. I think he might. I think he's waiting to come back for next year. I really do.
I think he would like to, but at the same time, if I think a lot of it depends on the direction of the team and where he thinks it's going to be.
Let me ask you this question. If you finish this season, say 10-7, and you get to the playoffs and you get beat, or you win a playoff game for miraculously win somehow, some way, and you get there, I know I said that Rodgers would come back because that's an improvement from the last couple of years. If you're Rodgers and the Steelers, do you want Rodgers to come back for one more year?
I mean, it's going to depend on what the draft situation is looking like at that time. Like where are we picking? What quarterbacks have actually came out? We just learned that Lenora Sellers is off the market, off the board. He's going to return to Carolina. I would imagine that Manning's probably going to go back. So there's a lot of variables there. Does Aaron want to come back if he want? Would I want him back? I mean, I would lean more yes than no. But at the same time, it just depends where I think we're heading. Part of me says, yeah, bring him back and throw shit at the wall one more time and see what happens. But another part of me says, let's just turn it over to Will and see if he's got it. Whether we draft a quarterback or not, I don't necessarily, the way this draft class is shaping up, I don't see us coming out of there with a franchise quarterback.
I agree with you 100% there.
So at that point, whether it's Aaron or Will, I think you go receiver in the first round and just ride it out and go from there.
I agree with you 100% though, Dees. If Rodgers does not come back, if he doesn't, then you got to hand the keys to the ship over to Will Howard. I mean, you're high on the kid. You talk about him. You get him some good weapons. You get him a good offensive coordinator who can use his talents. And I think that Will can be a good quarterback. I know that Gruden speaks very highly of him, but we've heard him speak highly of other quarterbacks too as well. Listen, I'm on the Will Howard train. Put me on that train. Let me sit passenger. Let me watch him come out there and play because I do think the kid's got talent. I do. You look at his moxie in the playoff games last year and you look at his arm, he's got a pretty decent arm and he can move. He's mobile.
Yeah. Look, I don't have anything against him, but I'm also a realist in that, he played at Ohio State and he had one hell of an offense around him and a really good defense to get him the ball back in good situations. That's not to say that he can't be a good quarterback in the NFL, but I'm not ready to crown him as fucking Tom Brady
well, I'm not saying,
or Josh Allen.
I'm not saying he's either one of them, but we don't know
No,
because here's the
no, but there's a lot of people that are. There's a Facebook group right now that literally slobs all over this guy week after week, want him to start now, even though he's never taken a fucking NFL snap.
here's my thing on it. Pittsburgh has not had a rookie quarterback start for them since Roethlisberger hasn't started, but he came in his second year and went 15-1.
Whoa, whoa,
But
whoa, whoa, whoa. No, he was a rookie.
he was a rookie when he went 15-1.
Yes.
What Maddox started the first game and then he got hurt, right?
Yeah, Maddox started the first game, and then in the second game, or wait, was it the opener? Yeah, it was the opener against Baltimore. He hurt his elbow.
Oh yeah, that is right. I remember that. Yep, that is right. But you got to get Will Howard the
Then-
opportunity. Go ahead. You got to
Then Ben started week 2 against the Miami Dolphins.
Okay, I remember that now. You're right because they went 15-1. You got to get Will Howard the opportunity to go out there and play. I mean, again, like they haven't had a good quarterback since Roethlisberger. Look, Roethlisberger leaves, you draft Kenny Pickett, you got who? Oh yeah, Mitch Trubisky as a free agent. You have Mason got his opportunity. Then you had who else had their opportunity after Mason? You had Mitch. You had Justin Fields, Justin Fields, all of them. Now you got Rodgers. I think it's time for them to get a young quarterback and just ride with him and let him go for 3 or 4 years. Save your money. That frees up some money. Rodgers got $20 million a year. I think that's what it was this year for the Steelers. That's going to free up some money. I mean, let Will play and see how he is. I mean, put some offensive weapons around him, get a good offense, and just let him play. If Rodgers is not going to come back, I don't want another bum out 35-year-old plus quarterback coming to be our quarterback. And if not, then go get me Jameis Winston. Winston can still throw the football from the field.
No.
As a backup,
I don't want none of I don't want fucking Winston. I don't want Kyler Murray. I don't want Kirk Cousins. None of these old ass retreads that are not going to do shit for you. Huh?
You wouldn't take Jameis Winston as a backup?
No, I've got Mason Rudolph is under contract. There's your backup for next year. You can draft a rookie in, second, third, fourth, fifth round, whatever. Give the ball to Will Howard, see what you got. And hope for the best or worst, however you want to look at it. But until we get a coaching staff that's going to run an offense that, is actually applicable in the 21st century, I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot.
Yeah, you got to have the offense changed up too, especially for Will Howard. You know that he had some weapons at Ohio State, like you said. I mean, DK Metcalf is a weapon. Now you got to pair a number 2 with him and go get a number 2 over either in the draft or free agency. You got to figure out how to do it or trade, and you got to get rid of some of these old guys on the offensive side. You might have to give up, and I keep saying this, D's, and people's not going to like it. You may have to give up a Cameron Hayward or and I know he's going to be a one helmet guy, which people say, but you might have to turn the page on him and move on, and you might have to look at getting rid of Alex Highsmith. You got some younger guys behind him that play better than him, and they're hungry.
I disagree. I'm not necessarily saying you can't get rid of him, but when he's healthy, Alex Highsmith is pretty damn good. Problem with Highsmith is he can't stay on the field,
and that's probably one of the reasons why they'll probably look to get rid of him.
Yeah, the best ability is availability, and he hasn't had a lot of it.
Yeah, and you could probably get a third or fourth round draft pick for him, and maybe a player that helps you out, like on special teams or whatever, or you could draft somebody. But you got kids that are almost ready to take the jump, like Peyton Wilson, Jack Sawyer. I'm pretty sure that they'll draft another inside linebacker. Patrick Crane has played great this year. I mean, for the Steelers.
Yeah, Wilson has played great too. He's just got to kind of shore himself up against the run. That's where he struggles the most. We're definitely going to need another edge guy at some point, whether it's TJ declining, which I still don't buy into as much as people think. I just think it's been a bad year overall. I think he's maybe lost a fraction of a step, which sometimes that's the difference between getting home and not. But
Or
the entire defense just as a collective sucks.
well, let me. Okay, now that you say that, and you say that about TJ, because I've been thinking about this. Do you think maybe he's just tired of how this defense is put together and how they're not getting to the passer or the quarterback like they should, and how he's not being moved around after we were told that he was going to be moved around?
Well, I would certainly hope so. And again, this goes back to the same thing that I've beat against the wall for the last fucking 10 weeks. You can't get to the quarterback in less than 2 seconds. And we've been just getting absolutely killed in short passing. It's gotten better mostly, except for, there were a couple exceptions along the way. But that's the biggest thing. Like our defense is built on quick pressure and turnovers. And when we're not getting that because these guys behind can't cover for 2 seconds, and we're not getting the turnovers, then our defense is absolutely ass. Which again, this goes back to the little headline under my name there. It's time for a complete schematic overhaul. This is the same offense, whether it's Arthur Smith, whether it's Matt Canada, Randy Fiechner. It's the same offense that we've been running for the last 5 years. The defense has basically been the same since Tomlin forced Dick LeBeau to resign. And everybody knows what we're doing. Like it's just bad. Talent wise, we have the guys on the roster that I'm not saying to be as Juan Thornhill so stupidly put it, historic, but we have the talent on the roster to be a top 10 defense. But when the other team can literally guess your defensive plays and what you're doing, it's easy to pick apart, as we have seen all year long.
I mean, I don't bless me. I don't disagree with you at all on that. It's just I don't know. There's something that's not right about that defense, and it hasn't been right the last 4 or 5 years, if not longer. There's just something.
Because it's the same shit.
I mean, I don't understand it. You watch film, you talk about it, you break plays down every Tuesday or Monday whenever you come in back to the facility, you break it down. Can't somebody speak up and say, can we change this, or can we do this or do that? I mean, I'm not getting the concept of this defense and why they can't get it right.
Again, if turnovers, if they're not producing turnovers and sacks or pressures, it don't work. It simply doesn't work.
Just like throwing the ball across the middle. Why haven't we done that? What is the problem with throwing the ball across the middle? Are you afraid that it's going to get kicked off?
Yes, yes. That is exactly what he is afraid of. He wants to not turn the ball over and get turnovers. The very thing that he has preached at us since I can remember is we don't live in our fears, but he does it. He does exactly that. He allows it to happen a little more often when Aaron is the quarterback. But if you go back and look at the passing charts since Ben left, I bet you would see that big gaping hole in the middle of the field more often than not with the quarterbacks that have run through the gamut here, all the way from Kenny to Mitch to Russ to Justin to Mason to, not saying it's a complete no-fly zone, but you're going to see minimal attempts for minimal risk.
Speaking of Kenny Pickett, did you see he was named the starter for the Las Vegas Raiders this week?
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny had a couple good passes in that game last week. Looks like who did he throw the game winner to?
Game winner. They got smoked.
Or not the game winner, the touchdown when he came in. He threw the same pass that he threw to Pickens in the end zone for us to win the game. I think it was against the Raiders when he did it in the cold. But kudos to Kenny Pickett for still being on the team and getting a start. Will he be there after this year? I don't know. Will that coaching staff be there? I have no idea. Raiders don't look too good. They don't look too good. Getting
No,
back getting back to the TJ Watt thing, you know, the trainer, what are you doing? Like what are you doing? And now he's out. Is he only out for this game or is he out for extended period of time? Do you know?
well, most of the doctors and things are saying that they don't expect it to be season ending. I believe there was one doctor who was nowhere near the scenario, says that he doesn't think he's going to come back. But I'm going to lean towards the people that are actually in Pittsburgh saying that he is expected to play again this season. I don't think it's going to be next week. I think absolute best case scenario is going to be he's going to miss 2 games. And personally, I think we're going to be lucky to get him back for the finale.
Oh, I mean, that's against the Ravens. I mean, you'd be okay with him sitting out against the Lions and the Browns?
Yeah. Yeah. Because then we could shit the bed.
Anything for us to lose, huh?
I'm full chaos mode, bro. Like I want, again, if they are too dumb to force their hand this season, then I want the front office and Rooney to have to sit through an entire season of fire Tomlin.
Donnie says only to this game. They say next week playing.
I have not read that anywhere, and I will be absolutely fucking shocked if he comes back from a punctured and partially collapsed lung in under 14 days.
Well, hello there, Miss Jean. I miss you. Hopefully, you're having a good day. Thank you for watching the show, tuning in here for a brief second. Appreciate you, Jean. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it is an extended period of time for TJ. Let him rest. Let him get 100% healthy. That's the only way I'm bringing him back if he's 100% healthy. If there's a chance for you to make the playoffs, these now that I look at it, I'd be okay with him sitting out the last 2 games. You need him more, or the next 2 games. You need him more for the Ravens game, and if you get into the playoffs, a playoffs push. So yeah, I would be okay with him sitting out. You know, get your rest, get what you need to do to make yourself 100% healthy. I'm okay with that. What more do you need to see from this offense moving forward? I know that we talked about having 17 rushing attempts. You think? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, in a perfect world, I'd like to see us be able to run the ball more often and more effectively. But again, with our injury situation right now, our best run blockers aren't there. You know, we are literally on our 4th string tackle that we had to bring off the practice squad. So anybody expecting a dramatic change in the running attempts and yards going forward, at least for the next couple of weeks, you're in for a big fucking surprise and a disappointment because it's not going to happen. So that being said, hopefully for those of you that are excited about the win last week, Aaron can kind of keep the hot hand going that he had last week. We'll see. Like he'd been struggling, had a couple bad games, then he broke the hand and it didn't get, got kind of worse for a couple weeks. But last week he played really, really well. Like he even said in the press conference, when you get up there in age, some days you just wake up and you feel great. Other days you don't. And last Sunday, he just happened to wake up and felt great.
Let's hopefully he wakes up tomorrow and feels great. I'd like to see him get back on track and throw 2 more, maybe 3 more touchdown passes. But hey, how about Aaron with the rushing touchdown? He finally got
was nice.
He finally got one this year.
Yeah, that was good to see. It was his first one since what they say 22, I think.
And he did his
double discount double check. Yep.
So kudos to Aaron. He looks like he's having fun, even though that they've lost. He still looks like he's got something a little bit left in the tank. I think if you give him a better offensive line and another wide receiver, I do think that he may come back next year. I would say it's 50-50. But again, Dees, we talked about that a little bit earlier. If he doesn't come back, I'm okay with handing the keys over to Will Howard and say, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. If he can If he feels good and he wants to come back and he'll do it still on the cheap, then absolutely, I'm not against it. But I'm also accepting of the fact that I don't think he comes back if Tomlin leaves in whatever capacity he leaves. Then you can go ahead and just, you know, I don't think another whoever the next coach is going to want him back for that matter. I think a new coach is going to want to come in and immediately put his stamp on the team. But again, knowing full well that there's a really, really good chance that Tomlin's not going anywhere, then yeah, I would be okay with it as long as Aaron's, felt good.
All right, so let's talk about the oldest quarterback in the league now. He'll start his first game after 4.5 years with the Indianapolis Colts, Philip Rivers, who they brought in off of the couch, who was just throwing ball with his son in the backyard at his house. He was saying in his interview, one of the funniest things that I heard him say was they asked him, well, what two funny things? He walked in and said, right, thank God no more Zoom right off the rip. He said that. And then one of the reporters asked him, well, what's your weight now? He goes, I'm not even close to my to what I played last time. So we'll try to get there. If not, we'll just go through the season, whatever. So I would assume between this game and the next couple games that he'll probably lose anywhere from 8 to 15 pounds because that's what he looks like. He's a little bit over, is about 15 pounds over. But all indications is that word came out yesterday. He's starting. Your thoughts on Philip Rivers starting a football game at 44 years old for the Indianapolis Colts?
Well, I mean, it's like he said in that press conference, he never ran away from anybody anyway. So it isn't like the extra weight and the lack of speed is going to hurt him because he never had it to begin with. They say that he's looking pretty good in practice, slinging the ball around. And for all the people out there, whether it's been serious or not, as far as, well, why didn't they call, Cam Newton? Or I even seen a couple people mention he who shall not be named, but you know who I'm talking about, Captain Take a Knee. Like, people don't understand that, yes, he's a 44-year-old quarterback, but he's a 44-year-old quarterback who literally walked in the door off the street and knew the offense better than the quarterback that's there now, because he's ran that offense for like the last 5 or 6 years of his life. He played with Shane Steichen as one of his coaches. He ran that very offense at the high school that he coached at. So he not only knows the offense, like it's verbatim, like he knows the verbiage, everything. That's why he can walk in off the street and start this game.
And that's exactly what Shane Steichen said in his interview. Why
Yeah.
didn't and there are people out there, and I've watched a lot of TikTok that's saying that this is a racist thing because Cam Newton didn't get a call because certain other African American quarterbacks didn't get a call from the Colts. So they're calling the Colts organization racist because they're going with a 44-year-old quarterback. Even
Yeah.
RG3 at 38 years old said, I can play. Give me the opportunity to go play. There's reasons why they didn't call these guys. One is because when last time Cam Newton played, he shit the bed. He didn't look too good.
Yeah.
Two is, like you said, Dees, and like Shane Steichen said, I was comfortable with calling Philip Rivers because he knows the offense and he knows me and he runs the same offense. That is exactly what Steichen said. That is exactly what Rivers said. So if you're comfortable with somebody, you're going to more than likely 90% sure you're going to go with somebody who you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. Can you fault them for it? Yeah. Can you not fault them for it? Is it a buddy system in the NFL? Absolutely. That's another reason why he got a job, because they were buddies. He's got a 5-game. He's going to play 5 games. If they get to the playoffs and get a chance to go to the Super Bowl, maybe 6 games, 7 games, don't know. But 44 years old, man, kudos to Philip Rivers for even trying to come out there and play at 44.
Yeah. Again, I get sick of the whole race thing because people use that as a crutch these days, but that's another show on another platform. But yeah, it's a no-brainer to bring a guy like that in. If he physically can do it and wants to do it, and literally it's plug and play. Like, I can fucking rip this off in the headset right now and boom, the play is going to be ran. The only thing you got to worry about is like he's got to get some rapport and some timing down with the guys on that offense. But it's a matter of at least he knows what he's doing. Whereas if you bring one of these other guys in off the street, they got to learn the offense from scratch, and they have to build timing and rapport with the guys on the team. So I don't blame Steichen one bit, and I don't give a shit if the quarterback's white, black, brown, pink, purple, yellow. If he knows the offense, he knows the offense.
The other thing is too, it goes to show you what they think about the quarterbacks that he comes right off the street, not even at practice for 5 or 6 days, and gets the starting job. Yeah, he knows the offense, but it just goes to show you that they don't trust anybody else that's behind him. They don't.
Well, they only have one person, and that's Riley Leonard, who is also banged up. And Riley Leonard's not a very good passer of the ball. He got hot in that playoff game for Notre Dame in, I believe, the fourth quarter. But over the course of his career, Riley Leonard, hate to bring up, this name in front of you because you have PTSD, but Riley Leonard's basically been Tim Tebow in his college career. He's a running quarterback who can occasionally throw the ball. And that's not really Shane Steichen's style.
Yeah.
So again, and AR is still, I think AR might be on IR. I'm not 100% sure on that, but either way, it was a no-brainer.
And how about kudos to Danny Dimes for giving up his number right to Phillip Rivers?
Well, I don't think he had a choice. I mean, he's on IR, so the number becomes available. So why wouldn't, it's not like he's going to say, don't wear it.
No, I know, but Phillip Rivers even went and thanked him for giving up his number because he said, yeah, he goes, even before this was in discussion, he asked Steichen if he can have 17, even before they put him on IR or whatever. That's what Rivers said. But anyway, kudos to Danny Dimes for doing it and allow it, because that's kind of cool. Now that all these Colts fans ain't got to buy new jerseys or whatever. But Rivers was supposed to be on the Hall of Fame, or supposed to be on the ballot this time for Hall of Fame. Now he's going to play. That's going to interrupt that, but he didn't seem
semi-finalist. Like he was still there.
He didn't seem too concerned about that. He was more worried about being in the Chargers Ring of Honor than he was being in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, he's eventually going to get there, I would think. I don't necessarily know that he's a first ballot guy just because, he doesn't Eli didn't make it last year. So, and Eli's won 2 Super Bowls.
You think Ben makes it?
First ballot?
Yes.
Personally, like Homer, I think so, but I wouldn't be surprised because, like I said, Eli didn't make it his first year, and they're kind of right there neck and neck as far as like Super Bowl wins and things of that nature.
I would say Ben's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I would like to think so, but again, it all depends on who else in that. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Who else potentially going to be in that class?
Well, we could do that. We could do that next week and give our thoughts on that. Chip will be back to. I'll let him know about that. Who the class is, who you think will get in, and whatever. But we got about 11 minutes left to go. We'll do our picks here. D's, what you got for picks this week? I know you got the schedule up.
Yep. All right. So, who played Thursday? I don't even remember. Oh, Falcons Bucks. That was a good game.
It was.
Kicking off our noon slate, we have the Cleveland Browns going to Chicago today, taking on the Bears. Bears are 7.5-point favorites, and looks like they are looking at 9 degrees at kickoff.
Who are you taking, D's?
I'm going to go with the Bears. I just, they're. I don't think that Cleveland's defense is going to be super effective against Ben Johnson. Caleb has been playing well. He's been getting out of those sticky situations. Cleveland's offense hasn't been great. It's going to be really, really cold, so it's going to kind of slow both teams down. So I'm going to take the Bears at home.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to take the Bears too at home.
Then we got the Ravens in the big rematch against the Cincinnati Bengals. Another 9-degree game there. Man, I'm going to go with Cincy with the sweep here. I think Baltimore is about to implode.
I'm going to take Cincy too, especially after Joe Burrow being fired up in his press conference this past weekend or this past week. He wasn't too happy about what's going on in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and let's just get this out of the way. I've seen a lot of people like, "Oh, we have a chance. We have a chance. We'll get Burrow." Cincinnati will fucking dismantle and like just dissolve the team before they trade Joe Burrow to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just so, yeah.
If you fans out there don't know about football, you never trade within a division. Never.
Well, you don't unless you're trading Russell Wilson or not Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco. But yeah, Joe Burrow's not going to anybody in the North. Let's just fucking squash that. But yeah, it's he said it without saying it. Like, hey, I'm not gonna fucking do this much longer if we don't start winning games. So anyway, yeah, I got the Bengals.
I'll take the Bengals too.
Chargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Man, I think the Chiefs are going to win this one. It's a home game. Their backs are really against the wall right now, and I don't think that they're going to just roll over and die here. So I'm going to take the Chiefs in a close one. Somehow they're 6-point favorites.
Wow.
God, I can't shake this cough. All right, then we have the Buffalo Bills traveling to New England, where it is currently snowing pretty hard. Not real cold though; it's like 32 degrees, but the snow is coming down, starting to get a nice coverage there. I can't see New England losing this one. I think Buffalo's offense is for real, but their defense is also real bad. So I think New England is going to probably win this one by 8 to 10 points when it's all said and done.
You said New England over Buffalo?
Yeah.
I think this is when the Patriots win streak goes out the window. Josh Allen's going to light him up. I think he throws for 3 touchdowns and rushes for another one, 325 yards. I think that's what's going to happen with it.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but we'll see. Then we got the Washington Commanders taking on the New York Giants. Might as well call this like the fucking IR Bowl because both these teams have just been destroyed by injuries.
Is Jackson Dart starting for the Giants?
To the best of my knowledge, yeah, he's still in there.
All right, so I'm a Dart fan. Let me get the Giants.
I'm also going to take the Giants. Again, Washington just absolutely crushed by injuries right now. Then we got the Kenny Pickett-led Las Vegas Raiders taking on his former team for one whole season, the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. Philly should win that one quite easily.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Raiders here. I'm gonna take the Raiders.
Are you that much of a Kenny Pickett homer?
No, I'm not a Kenny Pickett homer. I just think that they pull one out of their ass and find a way to win.
I think they get beat by 2 touchdowns, but
Gene says Philly. Donnie says the Giants. Donnie says the Bills. Donnie says the Chargers. He says the Bengals, Cleveland. We're all Donnie's picks.
Then we got the Jets taking on the Jaguars. Jaguars getting on a roll.
I'm going to take Duval County.
Yeah, definitely. It's a home game. They're going to probably go to 10-4. Arizona Cardinals travel to Houston to take on the Texans. Also really red hot right now. Can't see anything out of Arizona that makes me believe that they can go into Houston and win that against that defense. Give me the Texans.
I'll take the Texans too.
La la la. The Green Bay Packers, this is probably game of the week material here, travel to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. Green Bay is a 1.5 point favorite.
And Denver's at home, right?
Yeah. And hold on. Denver, Colorado in the Rocky Mountains for game day today. Do you know what the temperature is there?
35 degrees and sunny.
61.
61 degrees in Denver, Colorado, in the Rocky Mountains.
Yes.
You had to look through your glasses to make sure that was correct, right?
Yes. Now, I would like to show you the temperature here, 2 hours south of Chicago. There ain't one.
0 degrees.
Yes. With a feels like temperature of minus 16.
Wow. Give me the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going to take Denver only because of the home field advantage. Two really good defenses. It's just a matter of like who's going to make the mistake, and you know what? No, I don't believe in Denver, especially their offense. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Denver. 61 degrees. Yeah, I'm still sticking with Denver.
Detroit Lions travel all the way out to Los Angeles, taking on the Rams. As much as I hate to say it, Lions are kind of on the struggle bus right now, especially with injuries. Not really looking like themselves lately.
Give me the Rams. I'll take
I'm going to take the Rams here as well. Then we have the Carolina Panthers, big surprise this year at 7-6, taking on the New Orleans Saints.
Does anybody want the Saints?
I don't know why you would. Although Tyler Suggs looking good the last couple weeks. This is one of those divisional games where the Saints, I wouldn't be shocked if the Saints pulled the win out, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers here.
So what you're saying, the Saints are going to come marching in?
No, they're at home, so they'll be there already. Tennessee Titans traveling out to San Francisco 49ers. Christian McCaffrey is a late addition to the injury report.
That guy cannot stay healthy.
No, I don't know if he's going to miss the game. I believe his list is questionable, but yeah, playoff time rolling around is not when you want to see McCaffrey's name on the injury report.
Donnie says Denver Lions. Jean says she likes the Saints. She's taking the Saints.
So
he said Panthers too.
Yeah. McCaffrey or not, we should see a 49er win here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners.
All right, moving on to the final 3:00 game or 4:00 game, depending on where you live. The Indianapolis Colts travel to Seattle with Grandpa at quarterback, taking on the Seahawks.
I feel sorry for Rivers in his first game back against Seattle with that defense. Just for him being 44 and coming out of retirement to play, I would like to see the Colts win in an upset, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to take Seattle.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'm with you. Seattle's a 14-point favorite there. Even though he knows the offense and everything, there's still some timing issues, so I think he probably will struggle. Plus, that defense is legit. So, yeah, I think Seattle's going to win this, and I think they'll probably come close to covering.
Gene says Seattle. Donnie says Titans.
What? Donnie, have you watched the Titans this year?
He's taking the Colts.
All right.
What are you smoking, Donnie?
Right. Got that good. All right. Tonight, Sunday Night Football, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
Minnesota Vikings with J.J. McCarthy starting.
Yeah.
I want to see Minnesota win, but I'm not sold on J.J. McCartney or McCarthy, whatever he is. And I hate to say this. I'll take the Death Blue Star.
Yeah, Cowboys offense is still really good. Even though the Vikings defense is good, the Cowboys defense is mid, but the Vikings offense is also mid. I think the Cowboys will do enough to get the win here.
Gene says the Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings.
Hope so. And then, of course, the reason that we are all here, Monday Night Football. The Miami Dolphins come to Pittsburgh, where we have already covered all the bases. Miami sucks in the cold when Tua is the quarterback. Mike Tomlin's never lost a home Monday Night Football game. Steelers only 1-11 lifetime without TJ Watt. This, that, and the other. Offensive line is decimated by injuries for Pittsburgh. TJ Watt out. Who else is out? James Pierre. Yeah.
Sante Samuel Jr. gets his first start as a Steeler, so kudos to him.
Yep.
Gene says Steelers win all the way.
I mean, it's no. You know what? I'm sticking to my guns. Miami 24, Steelers 20.
Upset. All right, I'm going to take the Steelers with a Chris Boswell game winner at the end of regulation, 23-20.
Okay, it's the Hall of Honor game before we go. Hall of Honor game, which Big Ben, Joey Porter, and Pouncey are all going into the Hall of Honor. Color rush jerseys, this, that, and the other. If Pittsburgh's not performing well, do you think that the fans are gonna turn?
Yes.
Like literally, that's the only reason I'm gonna watch the game, is to see at what point that we get the chance going. Are they gonna boo Renegade?
Somebody's getting booed. Either Renegade or Tomlin's getting booed. One of the two.
Yeah. If the performance, like, they better be on their shit, because if it starts to look bad, I think the crowd's going to turn on them quick.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You got my picks, these picks. Steelers play Monday night. You guys have a good rest of your day here on a Sunday. Enjoy your football. Do what you do. Go for walks. Shovel some snow if you got hit with snow. If not, if you're in Denver, enjoy the sunshine at 61 degrees. Send some of it our way. But for me, we're out until next week. We'll see you guys.